Good morning, Susanna here from a good property company. A little bit early. I'm with obviously an improvised cup of tea because I'm in Spain, so we're having to have it in a mug, which is about the right amount of volume of tea for me. So we're flying this morning from Seville to Compostela. From Seville to Santiago de Compostela, doing a lovely tour around Spain and having a really nice time. That is the palace over here. Oh, where is it? Can you see? Oh yeah, over here, that is the cathedral, and that was really interesting. A beautiful cathedral, but then they built it on top of what originally was a mosque. So, like classic builders, that bit was the top of the mosque, and so they built more bits to put the bells on instead of the chap that used to go up in donkey and call everybody to prayer. Beautiful buildings. Okay, entrepreneurship. We hit a little chord yesterday really with the video on entrepreneurship, so I want to talk about it more and talk about making mistakes. So in a job, you make a mistake, you get sacked, or you get performance reviewed, or you get disciplined. And so and at school you do exams and you've got to get them right, and we all experienced that, didn't we, where there was one right, one wrong. Entrepreneurship is a bit different. If you get it wrong, ultimately you pay the ultimate price, don't you? You go bust, or the business goes under, or you stop, or you absolutely hate it, or it's very stressful. There's lots of not punishments, but there are lots of things that go wrong if you get it wrong. However, at the same time, entrepreneurship in my mind is not stable. There should be elements to your business that are stable, and actually in my business we're just talking about all the elements that we want to keep stable. So great people, we want to keep them stable. Good processes, we want to keep them stable. But at the same time, entrepreneurship is about learning, reaching, growing, developing. And I'm really talking about the startup to the first 5 years entrepreneurship, rather than the stabilization of a business once it's grown and successful, and then it's added to in what you might call divisions. So in the first 5 years of doing anything, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to develop and learn skills, and then you're going to continue to grow those skills, and you're going to make lots of mistakes. Now, when you're little, you make the mistakes and you're like, duh! And you just kick yourself. And as you get bigger and as you work with more customers, if you make mistakes, then they're going to blame you. Which, in some ways, if you make a mistake, fair enough. But the thing about entrepreneurship is to not be put off by making the mistakes. In our business, we've got a saying, it's the 80-20 rule. I want 80% delivery. I don't want 20% cock up, but I expect a level of cock up because it's normal. And therefore, if we can fess up, figure out what we did wrong, what we did right, and how we improve, you go, great, let's talk about it, let's figure it out, let's move forward. Now that's quite different to having some perfectly packaged item from a retail shop with a 30-day money-back guarantee and the ability to complain crazily on social media if it all goes horribly wrong. Because actually what you're saying is, I accept to be in a circle where not everything will go right, where I'm still developing skills, where I'm still developing a team, I'm growing my knowledge and my processes, and because I'm exploring and developing and moving forward, and I'm not an expert and I haven't been there for 50 million years, there will be mistakes. And I think at the heart of entrepreneurship, it's almost an acceptance that mistakes are part of the journey. Now, there's all sorts of cliches, aren't they? Edison and his 1,000 attempts at making the light bulb, where he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times, I just learned 1,000 times what didn't work. Richard Branson's got some very famous mistakes, hasn't it? Things that didn't work. And what he did was he tried them out. If they didn't work, he shut them down. He moved forward with the stuff that did work. What he didn't do was allow it to stop him. And that's probably the key message this morning before we fly, tea in hand, up to Santiago de Compostela, is do not let those entrepreneurial mistakes stop you, because it is part of being an entrepreneur. As we've gotten more well known, we found that the acceptance of the community, not everybody in the community, most people in our community are fabulous, but the acceptance of the community of either mistakes or perceived mistakes, or actually untrue things about us, has been very there's a lack of acceptance of saying, do you know what, everybody's trying their best. And actually that's fascinating to see, and for a moment you could kind of tighten up and go, hang on a minute, we've got to be perfect now. But the reality is, we're entrepreneurs, the reality is we, like everybody else, are going to make mistakes, and I want to keep that level of flexibility and acceptance of either making a mistake or watching someone else make a mistake and gracefully going, they've made a mistake, and then moving forward and continuing to develop your business. Because if you stop, that's when you stop being an entrepreneur, in my view, because then you stop accepting growth, you stop accepting change, and change brings opportunities, so you stop looking for new opportunities and you start to calcify and solidify, and you become like one of those corporates. So don't get scared, just accept it as part of the journey and keep going, is my view. See you soon. Oh, wish me luck. I always get totally scared on flights. See you in Santiago del Compostela. Ciao.